Ho 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 and Merry Christmas! I have a super fun collaboration for you guys today, so stick around. Alright designers, I have a super fun video today. A few weeks ago I was contacted by that dynamic duo, the TwoYoots Transplanted, Mary and Kelly. They contacted me about being involved in a very fun DIY collaboration. For 12 days in December, we are going to show you guys a new DIY idea to spruce up your home or office for the holiday season. I have already watched the first few days, and let me tell you what, there are some very creative people out there, and I think you are going to love what they've come up with. Today I am doing day 9. We have 3 days left. There are 12 channels in all, so you're going to want to be sure to take a look at the list down below and hop over to check out all of the different DIYs. Go ahead and give these channels a subscribe while you're there. You definitely don't want to miss the last few days that are coming up. Before we get started on this DIY today, I have to go ahead and confess this project was a huge disaster. Does that ever happen to any of you guys? If you've been following through with Vlogmas, then you guys have seen I had quite a bit of trouble, but I think I was able to salvage the project, and I'm going to show you what to do when your projects actually go wrong. So you're going to see the mistakes and all today. Hope that's okay. I ended up making one of these very beautiful little trees, and I also have another. How about that? So I'm going to show you how these beautiful little items turned out pretty from the midst of a disaster, so definitely stay tuned. In today's project, we're going to attempt to make some beautiful little decorative trees that we can sit around our home or office just to add a little sparkle to our holiday season. To complete this project, you will need 2 styrofoam cones, a 2-pack of your styrofoam discs, 2 packages of the 15-count mini ball ornaments, spray paint of your choice, and a glue gun. The idea behind this DIY is to have 2 trees of staggering height. In order to accomplish this goal, I will use the base of one of my cones to draw some circles into those styrofoam discs. Using an X-Acto knife, I will cut those to size and then prepare them to glue together to make one of my trees just a little taller. Use a generous amount of glue, apply pressure for just a few seconds, and voila, you will have 2 trees of differing heights. The next step is to remove the little cap off of the end of all of your ball ornaments. You can keep these as is, or like me, you can choose to paint some of them a different color. Painting these little ornaments can prove to be quite tricky because we do need to get our paint around the entire ball. Using some finishing nails and pounding them into these sawhorses, we came up with a great way to hang the ornaments so that the entire 360 degrees could be painted. Now it's time to get started. If you choose the right spray paint, you ought to be able to accomplish this in just one coat. Just be sure that your spray paint is good for plastic and metal. The first of our disasters happened right here as we noticed that our spray paint did damage the cones, but we're going to try to make that work. Bringing those balls inside, we pounded those nails into a 2x4 to create a little stand, and now we're going to mix our glitter and Mod Podge to create a glitter glaze for half of our ornaments. In a little bowl, we can mix together the Mod Podge and a generous amount of glitter. Stirring that together will give us a beautiful glitter glaze that when dries will be clear, leaving behind a beautiful glittery finish. However, you will quickly see this became our second disaster. When our glaze dried, it simply just did not leave enough glitter behind, so we had to go a different route. We did repeat this process with the teal glitter as well and ended up with the very same results. Going back to the drawing board, what we decided to do was to add the glaze to the ball, and while it was still wet, go ahead and spin it right inside a little dish of glitter. This gave us a lot thicker glitter finish, which is exactly what we were going for. We do want to make sure that the cones have glitter as well because you will be able to see through the holes in the ornament spaces. Simply do it the same way, applying your Mod Podge and then sprinkling with glitter. Once the glitter has dried on the balls and cones, we want to apply a thin layer of Mod Podge to seal in our glitter because we don't want to lose our glitter throughout the years. Don't worry if it looks white, it will dry clear and you will be able to see your glitter right through it. Once all of the glaze has dried and our glitter is secure in place, we can now start playing around with the placement of our ornaments. You will notice that I have divided these between the teal glitter and the solid teal, as well as the silver glitter and the solid silver. I'm simply going to play around with the arrangement until I finally get a pattern that I'm happy with. Once I'm satisfied with the layout, I'm going to apply hot glue to the tip of that ornament. Once the glue is applied, I will be able to apply pressure, sticking it right into that styrofoam tree. Putting the little tab into the styrofoam with the hot glue will add the security for the longevity we're looking for, and this little design should last us for many years to come. This first row I am doing while it is flat on the table. This will ensure that all of my balls are level with the bottom of the cone and will not cause any tipping or unevenness in any way. Now we're going to continue this process all the way around the perimeter of that bottom row. Now you'll notice when we get to the back, we had a little bit of a dilemma. The ball ornament would not fit securely right in between those two ornaments, but we didn't want to leave the huge gap either. So I applied just a little bit of hot glue to both of those ornaments and then slipped the last ornament right securely in place. This did cause it to protrude just a little bit and it did mess up our circular design, but that's okay. You will see that it ended up working out just fine later on. Moving on up to the second row, we want to make sure we continue with the same pattern. Take the first color, whichever color that is, and stagger it just a little to the right side of the ornament below it. This will keep the pattern flowing, looking the same, and give us a spiral effect as we work upwards of the cone. Now we just want to continue gluing them and pressing them into the styrofoam like we did on the first row. Now here is where we're going to figure out we have another disaster. It looks great, except for we do have one spot that left a huge gap that we just simply could not fill in to make it look good. And I was about 3 ornaments short from finishing this project. And it was late. I had no way to get back to the store and was in a very big dilemma about what to do. So I decided to add a beautiful Christmas bow and finish it off hiding the spots that I needed hidden. Now if you want to learn how to make this bow, I do have a video on that I will link for you down below. It is very simple to do and I think it disguised our mistakes quite nicely. So, crisis averted. And boy was I relieved. I think it turned out quite nicely after all, and you don't even know that the mistakes are under there. Because the first little tree took all 30 ornaments, I did not have enough balls for the second tree, so I decided just to wrap it up in some of that pretty diamond roll that we buy at the Dollar Tree. You will notice that I do have the clear diamond wrap as well as the turquoise. I simply cut it in half so that I would have a 3-jewel width strand. Then I alternated the colors, hot gluing it in place, and in between each strand you can see that beautiful teal glitter that we already had on our cone. And I added another little bow right on the top and I think it turned out quite nicely. Again, another crisis averted. Because these two little trees took on totally different looks than what I had expected, I chose not to place them together in a vignette. Instead, I separated them and placed them in different areas of my home. And I think they add a beautiful little pop of color and they look so festive and fun. What was shaping up to be a complete disaster actually was salvageable and turned out pretty nicely after all. And there you have it. That is how you take something disastrous and turn it into something beautiful. So don't get frustrated the next time one of your DIYs don't go quite the way you had it planned. I want to thank you all so very much for watching, and I want to remind you to please check the description box down below. I'm going to have all 12 channels listed for you. Trust me, you're going to want to take a look. Thank you again, Mary and Kelly, for inviting me to be a part of this awesome collaboration, and I hope all of you have a very Merry Christmas. I'll see you soon in the next video.